Look at you, being such a good boy. It's warm out, finally warm. Pool's right there and he's not getting in it. What's up, garden friends? Jeff here. How are you doing? You're doing well. I'm great. I know that was fast. Hyper. Welcome to the video. I don't know what's going to happen in it. There you go. Great intro. I just picked up the camera. I'm going to do some yard work. So thought I'd bring y'all along. I said I'd upload some more. So here I am doing things where I can upload some more. Love this tree so much. Don't know if I had talked about it. This is going to go, not right now, it's gonna be a big project. It'll probably require a couple people. It's gonna go right up here where this apple espalier is. There we go. New camera, focus on my hand very quickly. That's where I want it. That's the perfect spot. You're gonna have this big round red shape in there. That'll be gorgeous. The apple espaliers, they're neat and everything, but also just meh. If I had a long fence line, something like that, I'd be more into it, but I don't. I'm going to keep it, probably, or give it away to someone else. I'm not sure. They don't produce much at all. Don't get much out of them at all. Oh, new umbrella, by the way. I just moved on too quickly. Told you, I'm hyper. ADD's raging. The storms always knock the blossoms off, and then you maybe get a tiny bit of fruit out of them, but I don't know. The fun and whimsy's just gone. It's their third year, and I don't think there's a single fruit on either one of them. We can go over and have a closer look. I can make it through my little nursery I have set up over here. Oh, Sergeant Pepper's looking nice. I was supposed to dig this up and scoot it back. Should do that. Maybe an opportune time would be in a video where I said, I don't know what I'm going to do. That's not what I want to do. I want to do something fun. Don't think that's worthy of filming, but while we work our way over. Look at the Chitalpa. Looking pretty good. My other one's blooming. I cannot believe it's blooming already. Today is May 14th. Thought these things weren't supposed to bloom until summertime. Okay. Apples? 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 I don't see anything. Gosh, that was such a good price on these. Not gonna find them for that price anymore. That is the one thing I'm like, I don't want to throw them away because, you know, the cost, one, that would just be wasteful to just toss them. Oh, maybe this needs some more time. They're starting to thicken up and everything. So this one right here, I'm pretty sure is a Liberty Espalier apple. I'm going to keep this one right here. And probably just going to come over here to the Honey Crisp. I'm pretty sure this is a Honey Crisp, right? That's yeah. I see the word crisp. It's a Honey Crisp, which is my preferred flavor for apple. I got the two because, well, they didn't have two Honey Crisps, so I just had to get the one. Ooh, I need to prune that off of there. And you needed, or so I thought you needed, another apple to pollinate it, but I don't know. I have friends who have just one apple tree and they produce. There must be other apples or crab apples, something near them that pollinates. Man, everything is so dusty. But, oh, it's pine pollen. I'm not seeing any apples in here. The whole reason came up this high onto the wall, right? Going to end up going down over here. That long piece of fence right there. I think that'd be a good spot for it. So there'll be an apple right here, then an apple running lengthwise. So we'll have a 90 with the pine growing up in there. No reason not to dig it up. It doesn't have any fruit on it, so as we'll get it out of here. Only thing that will be kind of sad is that might end up disturbing some of the perennials that are down here. They should be okay. There's a, what are you? I can't remember. Proudberry, coralberry. That really needs to go into a new spot anyways. Oh, Jangles, looking thirsty. Irrigation, turning that on tomorrow. Are you getting chewed on too? Something's been chewing on my hostas. By something, I mean rabbits. Rabbits been chewing on the hostas. I actually think the autofocus might be too quick on this new camera. I never had that be an issue before. I have a bunch of other hostas I planted over here this spring. The My Fair Ladies. And they all got eaten down nearly to the ground by the rabbits. And that's what's left. That's what's coming up on them. This one did get eaten down to the ground, so I put a cage over it. I'm going to try and locate my other cages to put on the tops of these. For me, the rabbits are normally only a problem when the new shoots are coming up. So I have to put the cages over them, but once they flush out with nice mature foliage, they'll nibble on them, but they're nowhere near as destructive. Oh, you've got a bloom on you already. That'll be fun. You see where I was setting my hanging planters I was tearing apart? I was pulling apart some hanging planters to do some stuff last week when I was putting plants underneath that foxtail palm over there. I also need to move this. That's why this is in shambles right now. Because I think I want it to go right here. Just need to bump it over a couple feet. But what I want to focus on, 5 minutes in, 6 minutes in, don't exactly have a lot of focus right now. Ooh, I don't know where that came from, but it is sparkly, and that's going to distract me for a very long time. Why is there just a random piece of holographic string on the ground? That's bizarre. Probably should just leave it there. I'll take that and stare at it for an appropriately long time for a 30-something-year-old. Yeah, it's getting hot out. It's supposed to be in the 90s tomorrow. I think the week prior to when this video comes out, or the week that this video is out, it's going to be cooled back down, but it's just going to keep getting warmer. So, need to get this ginger in the ground. Have another ginger over here. It'll be much easier to keep happy if they're down in the ground. Debated maybe putting this angel trumpet in the ground, but I think that's a pretty bad idea. I don't think it's a good idea. It's just going to end up having its roots torn apart when I dig it up to bring them for the fall. Be better to keep that one potted. And look at them, they're already so thirsty. So the alpinias, they can take a good amount of sun, but you need to be prepared to water them a ton, or just have a nice moisture retentive soil. I'm going to get the auger put on here, trench those holes out some more, and pop those guys in the ground. And also, crud, the adapter for this camera doesn't work on the tripod. I forgot all about that. You know, when you get the new cameras, sometimes you got to change some things up. So I guess I'll just come back and there'll be some gingers planted. Ah, never mind. Found some pots I can stack y'all on. This thing, I should have shoes on. It's fine. It's hot out. It'll feel nice. It will feel nice to wash my legs off, is what I was about to say. This thing is amazing. Oh, I love it so much. I'm going easy on it too, because I don't want to get dirt all over the patio. I'm gonna have to use a shovel though. There's a lot of gravel over here, and that gravel just wants to fall right back in there. I don't want to shoot gravel all over the patio. I think that would be messy. Where's the shovel? Hold on 1 second. It's right next to me. I'd stop the recording, but why do that when the shovel is just a few feet away? Here we go. It's the Root Slayer. It's probably not the best shovel for this job. It'll work. Don't need anything really big and fancy just to get some pebbles out of the bottom of the hole. Now, I have some of that land and sea mulch. Not going to call it compost, now that I've seen what's inside the last batch that I got. Let me go grab that, and we can get this filled in. Looking good. Gingers like things nice and rich. I always think it's a good idea to get something organically rich into their mix. I'm also going to add some biotone into this. My soil has been fairly well amended over the years, but it's also very sandy. And with sandy soil, you tend to lose all the good stuff over time. Things leach out more easily is what I should say. Those gingers like their soils nice and rich. Want to make sure there's plenty of good stuff down inside the mix. This, I would imagine, is probably fairly root bound. No, not bad at all. Okay. Yeah, just loosen that up some down here at the bottom. I don't need to go overboard. And I want to make sure it's facing the right direction. They grow in a circular pattern, but it needs to spread out and around the sable palm that's back there, and then out and over in these directions moving forward. Yeah. All right. I think that'll look good. Yes, it's all curled up because it is very thirsty. The soil's not bone dry, but it would have been in probably a couple of hours with this sun. So that's why I wanted to get it in the ground, because I need to water this entire area. And well, I may as well have them in the ground when I go ahead and water, instead of watering and then putting them in the ground. That wouldn't make any sense, right? You know what I mean? One more down there. And there it is, all done. Camera overheated. Good to know. New camera overheats just as fast as the last one. This one's going to get some more shade. So that's why the leaves are nice and flat and open the way they're supposed to be. That one's going to get some more sun. Once these root out into the ground some more, that's probably not going to be an issue. They just need to get their roots out. That one needs to get its roots out so it can reach into some more moisture. That was another reason to add some of the compost in there. Now, that bag, it's basically just peat moss with some feather meal and a few other things added to it, but it looks like it's mostly peat moss to me, like a potting mix. That's why I don't really want to call it a compost. There might be some stuff in there that is compost, but that bag is mostly peat and some other stuff in it. Regardless, whole point there is that organics, well, they help hold on to moisture. Well, that's what I was going to say in the midst of saying it. So that will help with that. Everything's very sandy and well drained right here, so water moves away from things quickly. Adding that back in is going to help them a lot. Gave these both a nice thorough watering. I'm really liking how this is looking over here. Just this corner with that ginger that's going to look beautiful with the sun impatiens. This one sun impatien, I might need to just pop that out and put it somewhere else. Maybe down the line somewhere over there. Didn't mean to do that. Down the line over there somewhere. That's better. Because it probably will maybe get smothered there. I'm thinking it's also entirely possible that this will pull up some, the foliage will pull up some, and it will have some more space to grow. I don't know. Time will tell. I've been debating lifting this Rhode from right here. If you don't know, it's not in the ground. It's just in a container. Butterfly bush did not do well with the heat yesterday. The other one's fine. That one, no, it wants to die. I'm thinking about pulling this Rhode out, is what I was going to say, and maybe putting in this Adenidia that's down here. I just really like the shape on this one. It's real nice, and the week that this video comes out is also the week that I'm having the big palm tree delivery. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I have a lot of very large palms that get stored away at a greenhouse during the winter. Then they bring them back, some of them, nearly as tall as the house. So I'm going to have 2 big queen palms right here. These will be moved, and I have other plans for them. And this is the only big new one this year. I like it right here, but there's a big Rhode that goes back here, and I really like it by the front porch. It adds a nice shade to this area. And then there's a double Adenidia that I had there last year, and I really did like how it looked. I was going to put the single Adenidia there. I think that's one of the things where I'm just going to have to wait for the palms to be delivered, and the ones where I need them to use the crane, there's a crane, because some of them are very large. There's a big Alexander palm, need the crane for that one. And then the big queen palm, which normally goes over in this area right there, need the crane for that. And then maybe for everything else, I'll just have them, just set them here, and I can move things around and play with them. One of these 2 queen palms that go over here, I'm going to need help with those. They're very large. I don't need the crane for them, but they're big enough that I would want their help getting them placed in that spot. But you know what I mean. So there's going to be a double trunk Adenidia. There's going to be a big Rhode. There's going to be 2 Gossia palms coming, and very large bird of paradise will be here, and then 2 more smaller double Adenidias should be here. Never know. You never really know what survives the winter in the greenhouse. They replace them if they die, but that's what should be coming back. There's more than that. That's only 7. What am I missing? This is gonna bug me. What? There's the double Adenidia. Oh, the 2 queen palms. I didn't count those, did I? Double Adenidia, 2 queen palms, Alexander triple, giant queen palm, 2 Gossia palms, 2 Adenidias that are smaller, bird of paradise. Okay, that should be everything. I feel like I sent 11 or 12 last year, but we're just going with, there's about 10 to 12 very, very, very large. Well, except for the Gossias, they're not huge, and the 2 smaller Adenidias, they're not huge, but the rest are going to be very large. So I'm going to play around with some ideas, but I just think could put something bigger and more impressive right there where that Rhode is. I like that Rhode in that spot. That's probably what I will continue to do, March through June, and then mid-October to mid-November, depending on the weather, right? Because that's going to be more of a house plant for several years. As long as it stays small enough to get the container in the door, it'll remain a house plant, which will be for a good 7 years, maybe 10 years at the most. I just think this would look so stinking cute down there with the triple Alexander on the other side. I had debated putting my large queen palm that normally goes over here by this light right there, maybe putting it in the ground across the aisle from the Alexander. So the Alexander palm will be on that side of the path that goes into the driveway, and then have the queen right here. The only reason I don't want to is, one, I'm going to have to drill a giant hole. I have to dig a giant hole. The auger will help. I'm going to have to do a lot of digging, though, in addition to using the auger. But I really like seeing that queen palm right here. The canopy has gotten large and it blends in with the pine trees, but from in the house on the second floor, it is so cool looking outside and seeing that giant palm tree over there. You can't see those big palms that are down there from the second story of the house. And yeah, I mean, that's what it comes down to, is I want to be able to see it from inside the house. So I think the Edenidia may be going down there. Oh, another big single trunk Edenidia. They brought me a big single last year. I didn't like it. I thought it was ugly. The shape on it was nowhere near as nice as this one. But I do still have it. So that will be here too. Hope you enjoyed thinking out loud time. I didn't get much thinking then, but I'm going to put this video out before my palm tree delivery, I hope. I'm going to release this on
Wednesday.
Week the palms are supposed to be delivered. So hopefully y'all can give me some feedback. I mean, I'm pretty sure I know what I'm going to do here, but I'm not going to say it right now. And, you know, get to see what y'all think of these different ideas too. Because that queen palm has gotten very, very, very large. And it would look pretty cool in that corner, but I'm also starting new bananas over here this year. They haven't gotten in the ground yet. But they're going to want a good amount of sun, and it may end up shading them. One of the advantages to keeping the new, or not new, but the big queen palm in the new spot over there would be that it would be getting more sun. And the queen that I have is the fronds are pretty far apart. Like there's one here, and then you go up a couple feet, and there's one here. It's been climbing very quickly for the sun, so there's not as much sun right behind me where it usually goes. Although it's getting taller now, so maybe that won't be as much of an issue. I don't know. So that may help even out the canopy by keeping it over here this year. Just a thought. The good thing about it, I'm sorry that tripod's been in the way the whole time I'm talking. That's what I had the camera somewhat strapped up to. I used a bungee to wrap the camera on the phone holder on there when I was down there digging. That area where the queen would be going, it's very easy to dig in. It's going to have to be a massive hole. The container that queen palm in, it's either a 36 or a 42 inch. I can't remember. I know the Alexander that goes over there, that's in a 42 inch container. So this one right here is probably in a 36, I'm guessing. It could use an upgrade, but as much as these pots cost these days, that probably won't be happening. Now, back when I bought the 36 inch and the 42 inch, they were a couple $100, which is a lot of money, but now they're several $100s into the thousands when you get up that size. So just gonna have to be happy the way it is. I think that would look really cool though, the nice trunk of a queen right here. I love the way they look at nighttime. But my concern is that it may cast too much shade for all of the new things that are over here. The heliconias, you know, they're an annual. I'll have to lift some of them up for the winter time, but not all of them. Same thing with the impatiens. These are sun impatiens. They can go part shade to full sun. You can put them in full shade, but they're gonna be more lanky and their flowers will be more sparse. It's mainly gonna be the new bananas that are over here. It's gonna be their first year in the ground. I want them to get as much sun as possible, because you know, bananas, they love sun. So this would be that spot. I'm either going to have the Edenidia right here, the one that y'all saw down there, or maybe dig out this area even further, lift this out, and I would have to dig out this entire spot right here. Really, really big hole, and drop it in the ground right there. I'm trying to think. The height on that thing, it's pretty tall. Last summer, it was up way above that umbrella. The canopy is about up here. So that would be, I'd say probably about this point on the roof. It's about where that canopy would be. I know what you're thinking. Most logical solution here, just get another giant queen palm. That's what I need. More giant palm trees. That's not the Edenidias, is that they reach a height and their growth slows down significantly. For the Alexanders, they're more versatile than the Edenidias, but I never see the Alexanders for sale. Here's what I want to do next. That was all the thinking time. Thinking time is over. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts. As I said, I'm going to release this one Monday, probably early in the morning, just so I can get some second opinions here. It's not going, there's not a wrong decision. No matter what I do, it's going to look nice. It wasn't an ego thing. That was just these are beautiful plants. I could just leave them on the patio and it would look beautiful. My bar is very low when it comes to palm trees. Things don't have to look great. All right, now what I want to get done, for the same reason as those gingers down there, plants that just are taking a lot of water in their containers, and these are annuals, right? These are begonias, so they shouldn't stay in their containers for too terribly long. You can see they're already stressed. We only had them for a few days. It's just so hard to water them because they're so full and beautiful, right? These are just gorgeous plants. These are dragon wing, pink, and they have a really pretty flower, nice colorful peduncle on there. It's the piece that holds the flowers out, the inflorescence out. I was thinking in this spot over here, I mentioned this in, I think it'd be the vlog that came out right before this one. I usually put sun impatiens in here. God, the gnats, the biting gnats are biting me like crazy. Putting those probably from right here and down way up high here, because the impatiens just, I don't know, they look great over here, but there's already so many of them over there. And I'm always wanting more of the dragon-winged begonias out here. So I just thought, well, let's try something different this year. Put those up high, maybe pop these Tradescantia down lower in here and let that purple fill in underneath that nice, beautiful, glossy green that you get with those dragon wing begonias. The dragon wings, and you can see the shape on them. That's what's nice. One of the reasons I grabbed these, they were so big and so full. You can sort of see their growth habit, right? They're going to come up and arch out. Similar to those gingers down there. I think I only have 4 or 5, but that's enough to fill in this top area right here. No problem. Saw a centipede. It went right over my foot. I almost screamed. It's my fault. I put my foot down into where the centipedes hang out. Do I have 5? I think I just have 4. Yeah, 4. That's okay. 4 is enough. And the nice thing about the dragon wing begonias, I see them for sale all season long. So if I decide I want to plant some more in some other spots, I can go grab some more to put in other spots. But right now, I'm just going to put the smaller bit on here. I think I'm just going to do the dragon wing begonias, and I don't want to plant the Tradescantia purple heart plants. You know what I'm saying. These guys right here. Forget it. They're fine like that for right now. I don't want to plant them just yet because I may end up wanting to put them around the palm tree, so I'm just going to hold on to those for a minute. But I know I want the begonias up here. And I think that this is a good idea also because I have been thinking about putting hardy begonias up here. The Begonia grandis types of begonias. They're so cold hardy and they're so tough, and they would come back every single year. But I thought, let's just try the dragon wing this year, see how they do in this spot, because the sunlight over here is really kind of weird. It's pretty, as you can see, it's shady back here, and that's new. That's only could be, it's because the heptacodium's grown. I got tongue-tied. It's only because the heptacodium has grown so much. So that's adding a lot of shade to the spot. There's also bananas that are down there. Those grow up, they add a lot of shade. But then you have this nook over here where things are much more sunny. It's where the gingers are grown. The hedychiums, they're a perennial. Here in 6B, 7A. Hey baby, how you doing, Turb? You're such a good boy. Are you hot? I cannot believe he hasn't gotten in the pool. You can see if I were to come maybe a foot or two forward from this ridge here where that light is. You see that? You just see there's like a sharp line for the shade right there. That might be too much sun. At the same time, I'm trying to remember also that when we get to summer, the sun, which is directly above right now, it's going to be more like right there, which means not as much shade right here. It's going to be at a lower angle. So this may be for nothing. That's why I wanted to do it with the annuals first, see how they do, and move forward from there. I have some of the perennial type begonias that have just started popping up, and I thought about maybe taking some divisions and plopping them in here too. But I don't know, I think let's just stick with this first. Remember, I told y'all that the ADD was raging today. I came down here to grab the smaller auger and thought, oh, you know what? I need to plant this viburnum. You should do that now. I already had the big bit on it. May as well dig a quick hole and get this one in the ground. This is a spot that's tricky. The soil here dries out very, very, very fast, so I dug an extremely large hole and added some soil conditioner in there because it's still about 1.5 feet down, a lot of clay. So that should help, having conditioner in there. That'll help with drainage. Not that that's a huge issue because it's so dry over here. It's just dry shade is all it is. So having that backfilled with nice organically rich material should help it hold on to some moisture. And if not, there's a sprinkler head right here. It's right there. That'll be turned on tomorrow, and this all will be getting water from that. Yeah, you see it? Look how thirsty it was. And I watered it this morning, but it's not our first, but it's I guess it kind of is the first. We have random warm days from late February, really, up until this time of year. It's mostly, you know, in the 40s to low 70s, but we have a few random days where it'll be like 90. So we've had a few random, very warm days, but it's just, you know, it hits different the closer you get to summer. So this guy got watered this morning, wasn't enough, so I said, okay, you know what, get you in the ground. Get you in the ground, the best thing you can do for a plant that's looking this thirsty, and it is very thirsty. I didn't have to disturb the roots. If I was going to disturb the roots, I wouldn't have done this right now. I probably would have, well, one, I would have watered it another time, and then I would have waited until, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, whenever I would be positive the sun's going to be off of this spot. There's not going to be much sun at this point, but over the next hour, it'll get some dappled light. I don't mind planting things more towards the evening. It gives plants a chance to rest before they have their first day of sun and everything. You plant them in the early morning, and that's fine and all, but then the afternoon comes around and things can just end up getting cooked. You know, they haven't had a chance to adjust. It just, I feel like it's a more gentle adjustment. But with something like this, it needed to get done because it was so thirsty and I was sick of watering it. Okay, I'm gonna do this real quick. I don't think I'm gonna film it. I'm just gonna pop them in. It's gonna be the same thing as the ginnies. I'm gonna dig a hole, add a little bit of conditioner, pop it in the ground, and go, hey, look at it. All right. Yeah, I mean, it's not that drastic of a before and after. That was awkward. I had to pause for a hiccup and burp at the same time. It's just 4 begonias, but you get the point, right? They're going to come up and arch over and have lots of little dangly flowers. It's either gonna look great or they're gonna fry to death. We'll find out together. I was extremely tempted to get in here and plant up all of these Tradescantia along the front of this line. I told myself not to do it because I might want them for the palms. I was thinking about the Alexander palm when that gets planted up over there. I was probably going to just fill it with the purple hearts this year instead of doing anything special. Excuse you, excuse you, excuse you. Hello, can I help you? That is not a smart spot. Oh, but you're very pretty. Okay, I mean, I guess I probably do smell like a plant. Okay, all right, buddy. I don't think I've ever had a carpenter bee quite this interested in me before. I'm going to pull my pants closed and maybe just go inside for a little bit. Okay, I think we're safe. I have never in my life had a carpenter bee that persistent on me. I don't think it would have done anything, but I've never had a carpenter bee that insistent on being in my space. It flew around Turbo for a long time. Really long time. He's such a good dog. But so many dogs would have just eaten the dang thing and then started, you know, acting all upset because it's got its mouth stung, and then it would do it to the next one. They just never learned. Anyways, begonias are in. Hopefully everything will go great with them. I said that I was tempted to get these planted, but I'm just going to wait. I really want to. I really, really want to, but I'm just going to hold off. It's only for 1 more week. And for you all, it will have just been a few days prior. Now this guy, it's only been about 45 minutes. It's already starting to unravel and unfurl. It's gonna look so nice. So I think I mentioned in a different video, definitely not this one, that these Alpinias right here, I never even said what they were. Alpinia, Zarembet, Variegata, variegated shell gingers. Their variegation's pretty pathetic. I bought them anyways because they're a really nice size, and I'm hopeful that in this spot they're going to be getting a lot of sun that should bring out the more intense foliage that we like to see on these things. Time will tell. Sometimes it's just a genetic thing, sometimes it's a sunlight thing, sometimes it's both. Just gonna have to wait and see. I'm hopeful that the variegation will intensify on this one. If not, then I may as well put a gingerbread in here because they're cold hardy. They can take the cold. The Alpinias here, 6B, 7A, they have returned for me before if I have had a lot of mulch on top of them. But when they return, you just get a few little growths out of them. They've never added up to very much. It's just like the juice isn't worth the squeeze kind of thing. Better just dig them up and take them inside or buy new ones. This one down here, this one, some nice variegation on it, but it's just a tiny little baby. But this is what I'm hoping the foliage will come to look like. It probably won't. It's not likely. I've never had them going from being that green to this colorful. It's best to just buy them with nice variegation if nice variegation is what you want to see on them. Look at that. They're just beautiful. Absolutely love the Alpinias. That looked great though. The hose eventually will get scooted back to its pad. I have to like excavate an entire spot over here and lay new flagstone and everything to get that back, and I don't have to. There's so many other things that I need to do, would rather do. than that. That's not bugging me just yet. In a few weeks, I'll take care of it. Yeah, that color. It'll be luminous too at nighttime. Well, it won't be luminous, reflective. All that light from that spotlight up there, shining off the yellow golden variegation down there. That's going to be beautiful. I'm pretty sure I talked about the care, didn't I? They can take a good amount of sun so long as they aren't in a soil that's going to dry out. They want consistent moisture. It needs to drain well, and it needs to be organically rich. They like things very, very, very rich. When I have these in containers, they are one of the few plants that I use the moisture control potting mixes with. It does make a difference for me anyways. With all this pavement out here, things get pretty toasty and the plants cook up fast. So I just use a moisture control potting mix. I add in a good amount of compost, usually cotton burr compost. I wouldn't use land and seed, maybe top dress with land and seed. And then there's a Mother Earth product that I like a lot called Farmer's Market. It's a good blend of like bat guano and alfalfa meal. It's got all kinds of really good rich stuff in it. They love it. They grow very well when I mix that into their blends. That is going to be a lot of sun for them though. Like I said, they can take it, but I always have best luck with them with some afternoon shade. So this is kind of an experiment for me. It's all this pavement and everything. It really makes a difference. Afternoon shade, easy. Afternoon sun, which is what they'll be getting. It might get kind of crispy. We'll see. I'm hoping that because they're in the ground, they're going to have access to a lot of moisture, that they should be able to push through it. But I don't know. Not idea here, but one of the reasons that I wanted to do this now was because the next week, or the week this video's out, it's supposed to be a little bit more on the cool side, upper 70s, low 80s, and then the summer heat's going to start rolling in towards the end of the month and into June. Tomorrow's supposed to be 92, but that's just one day. These will have a more cool period to go ahead and get those roots down. The ground's nice and warm for them, and that'll give them hopefully a chance to adjust. That way I'm not just taking them from sitting in a shady location, because I would have to move these. I couldn't keep up with that watering in those containers where they were. I would have had to move these to the shade, then bring them back out into the sun. I just think that this was the better way to go, right? Okay, getting cloudy. I think some storms might be Oh, it's not cloudy over there. It's really nice over there. Quite nice. Did you hear that? That bird was doing its thing. Yeah, over here. I think there's some storms that might be moving in. I don't know. That's what the radar says. But we got this bird singing. I'm seeing blue. I think that this is good. I just wanted to get some things planted and talk about some stuff. So there we are. I'm gonna pick that thing up as soon as I set this camera down. Hey, comment down below, say hi, what's going on in your gardens, and I think the main reason in this video is really just to talk about the placement of the palm trees and run those ideas by everybody. I wasn't able to work that into the last video. There just wasn't time, and every Saturday vlog up into that one, or I guess up into the one that's going to come out after this one, they were filmed a long time ago, April, into very early May, so I couldn't predict that far in the future to remember to talk about those kinds of things. And now here we are, just days away, maybe hours away when this video comes out from when the palm trees are being delivered. I don't know. They just give you a week of, and then they show up when they show up. So let me know what you think about, the Queen, the Alexanders, maybe just the Adonidia. I think the Adonidia is the one that should go here, but I think the Queen would look really cool. I can think of lots of reasons to do it and lots of reasons not to. One thing that I hadn't mentioned that I do think matters is that the queen palm will come up, its canopy will be right around here, and it is going to somewhat block the view of the canopy of the Alexander palm. Might hurt the view of that really pretty palm tree. Might also help it a little bit too. Might add some shelter and some protection. I don't think it's quite tall. It's not tall enough to shade the Alexander palm. Never mind. Been talking and doing too much. All right, hope everybody's doing well, having a great day, great life, and everything's going absolutely beautifully for you. And of course, as always, and most importantly, everybody, keep on growing. Bye-bye. Oh no, hold on. Forgot to mention, just try to get ahead of comments sometimes. I'm on mic. That shouldn't matter. You can hear me just fine. I'm right here. I only did the 4 here once, because I only had 4 of these. There were 4. I wasn't doing 3. It was 4. Because this ginger right here, this Hedychium, the flaming torch, it's going to come up. It's going to be very, very, very large. I've wasted so much money planting things right here. There's no reason to. It's just a silly thing to do. Maybe a ground cover might be a good idea right there. Probably something perennial. But a begonia, it wouldn't make sense. Within a month, that's going to be just smothered completely by the plant right there. Also, I am going to need to come in here and I'm going to cut out this area of this garden bed to widen it so that it's easier to move the plants in and out. So I need to really just not mess with things right here too much, because I'm not sure how much of this I'm going to have to cut out to make it so that these big 32-inch or 30-inch containers can be moved in and out of the spot. Okay, that's all like I was saying. Bye-bye.